It's hospitality, it's questions, it's comfort, it's family. That's what we do here. It's awesome.
It's a pilgrimage to come and be immersed in the music.
Because it's Newport. I mean, it's 60 years. It's all the history and all the people that have been here, and every year it's like somebody new.
We see young and old, all age groups just come here and just live in the time of jazz.
I think the most important thing about jazz festivals is it broadens the audience. It exposes people to a music they may not listen to on a regular basis. Jazz stations are not like, pop and rock stations when you're going across the radio. You got to search for them. So this exposes people to the art form. And at the same time, it's a place for young artists to be noticed and to get on the scene and to start selling records. So it perpetuates the strength of jazz. And it also reminds people that, even though there's a lot of classics when you think about jazz, the art form continues to evolve. And I think that's a win for the artists and for the audience.
This is probably the most important jazz festival in the world. It was the first one born 60 years ago in 1954. So Newport is very, very important.
Coming here, it's a place like for a pilgrimage, because this is like the pioneering place for our jazz festival industry. And George Wein, he is a long-time partner of mine. Since about 40 years we've been producing festivals together, and we have been taking on, his bands. He have been touring in Europe. So this is like, as I said, it's like the mecca for jazz festival producers and jazz fans, of course, as well.
Well, when you have a jazz festival, it's a hub. And a hub is where you can go and replenish, you can go and get inspired. And a jazz festival like Newport that's maintained that integrity, like what I was talking about, where from the beginning up until now, it's still a jazz festival. It's not a pop festival. It's not a rock festival. So I think something like this is special for young people to come and see that, because there's not many left.
The other thing about this festival is it's run from the musician's point of view. I mean, George Wein is himself a musician, and he's in this business because he loves jazz, loves to play jazz, and he runs the festival the way musicians like to be treated, like to be respected. And I think we all feel that when we come to this festival. It's not the only well-run festival in the world, but there's a certain combination of both history and connection with the musician community that we associate with Newport.
Newport was the first festival, the jazz festival, not the first, but I mean it was the first that really hit. It became an annual event. I mean, it was more than one day. And so it's important to keep it alive. It has a certain significance. And musicians, they grew up listening to records recorded at Newport. And it's significant to them, it's significant to the public. I get people coming with me to sign records that were made here 40 years ago, because that's made part of their life.
So all I can say is thank all of you for being crazy and having the guts to be here. That's all I can say.
This is a part of musical history, so it's really important, and always there are new things happening. So it's a place where history meets the future.
I've been playing since 4th grade. I started taking lessons, and I really got into jazz in about 8th grade. So yeah, it's great. It's great music. It's an emotional kind of outlet, and it's just a great experience all around here.
America's art form, you know, original art form, jazz, and I think it's important to stay alive because it's so great. I mean, jazz represents freedom of expression and something truly unique. You know, we play different solos every night. We're really coming up with music from the top of our heads, and there's so many different kinds of jazz, which the Newport Jazz Festival represents. There isn't just one kind. So it's really important for young people to be representing their type of jazz and to keep pushing it forward.
Grace came to me when she was 13 and gave me 3 CDs and studied with me for a while. So I know her, and I trust her in many ways.
You come to a situation where it's raining and people are just sitting there and enjoying it, and it reminds you instantly, it's never about the context, it's always about the music.
I was just out there in the audience myself just now, and I was struck by how devoted the audience are and how much the weather means nothing to them as far as it dampening the spirit. You know, they're here to hear the music, and I think once that music starts, everything else just disappears, you know. And there's some serious fans here that, you know, I think are just here to hear the music no matter what. That's what they came for. It's something I look forward to all year, and it's a special event for them to be here.
Why stop to think about the weather, right? So this is a dream. You don't stop a dream because of a little bit of water. You just go get baptized in it and appreciate nature, the beauty of the people that are, you know, the gifted artists that are bringing the music through them, and the heavens that are pouring on us, and you have a good time and you don't complain about it because we're diehard fans. You prepare for it, you act like a good camper, and you come out and celebrate. Jazz woman to the rescue. Jazz woman to the rescue. Go jazz woman on the Voice of America. Go jazz woman, go.
It's been actually spectacular. I've gotten quite a number of autographs from, you know, drummers and stuff.
Okay.
I love the drums, so that's mostly who I've gotten autographs from.
And this music was started by people that didn't have their freedom. And it's probably one of the most freest forms of music ever created.
If you go back to 1896, the turn of the century, jazz music was coming into a social climate where African Americans were looked at as second-class citizens, but then they were creating this genius music, and all of the confluence of things that happen in New Orleans creates this thing where the music transcends all of the social barriers that have been put up. So now, I think you see the first time integration happens is in jazz, with Benny Goodman and the bands being integrated, and all types of stuff that is before the law catches up with it. The music has already transcended everything. So I think jazz music is a language that can speak to people and move their heart, because it gets you dancing, it gets you crying, it gets you to feel the compassion for your fellow man.
I believe and I feel that this art form touches so many people in the world because of its sense of freedom. You know, this is the incredible thing about, to me, a guy growing up in Puerto Rico, you know, playing, you know, Afro-Caribbean music, and we are connected still because Africa is the link, you know, so we have so much in common, but still, you know, me as an outsider looking at it, it's amazing to see that when the structure, what happens, what takes place in jazz, with that sense of freedom and expression only can be achieved if we are part of the music.
Without arts, the music, without culture, you don't really have a civilization. And we sometimes miss the point that the beauty of why we exist is to create beautiful things. And if you can't find that in the music that we listen to, and especially in things like jazz, then you're missing the whole point of, I think, why people exist.
So the significance is that it should keep going forever. That's what I'm working for, is to see that it lives after I'm gone.
Thank you.